Moving on to graduation real quick in the home stretch. Graduation rate has not changed a lot. We did get about a 6% bump here in this year, but it's a little hard for us to know what caused it. I'd like to think it's because our graduation coaches and everybody's out really working hard, and we put those coaches in right that year that line changed, and we called every individual kid. They work those phones, they call in the parents, they bring them in. We found kids that had left the district, and we brought them back, and we really worked at it, and we did get an increased graduation rate. But what's hard to tell is what impacted what, because that's the same year they changed the methodology of calculating the rate. So at the same year we put in all the initiatives, we also changed the method of calculating. So going forward, we're graduating about 7 out of 10 kids. And I think in a country like ours, that's sad. We're really going to have to do better. But we have many programs in place, and we're doing what we can. But I will tell you this much. When we raised the rigor of the curriculum, and we made everything more challenging, which was our challenge across the nation, everyone said to me, dropout rate's going to go up. Kids are going to leave. Scores are going to drop. None of that happened. Our graduation rate hasn't moved a lot, but our expectations have risen considerably. And so, in a way, I think that's a good thing. The context that those kids work in is different. You know, my wife and I, when we went to college or high school, we only needed 1 year of math to get a high school diploma. Now, I took 2. I made it through geometry. Barely. No. But, you know, the reality is we're asking kids to take 4 years of math now. Things aren't like they were in the day that you and I probably went. Last slide on this part, I want to point out the percentage of seniors scoring at Hathaway thresholds. In the blue line in the middle is where most of our growth has occurred. We've gone from about 17.5% of the kids scoring at the middle Hathaway scholarship threshold, and that would be getting an ACT score of 21 to 24. And you can see we're up to 22. In 1 year, we even had 24.5% of our students scoring there. So we've done better on getting more percentages of a higher percentage of students scoring at Hathaway. Another marker that we track for the public is the percentage of kids taking difficult courses. And parents, I want you to listen to this carefully. You know, we have a hard time convincing parents that it's better to get a B in a really difficult class than it is to get an A in an easy class and keep your GPA at 4.0. That's a hard sell to parents. But I can tell you this, the research is clear. The kids who are better prepared for college have taken the toughest classes they can handle. And they don't worry as much about their GPA, but they worry more about taking classes that prepare them. So we track this, and you can see over the last 4 years, we've had some good increases in the students taking difficult classes. Now, IB is the blue line. The International Baccalaureate program at East hasn't shown a great increase in students. It's a very challenging, very worthwhile program. But we do have a lot more kids taking advanced placement classes and also other honors classes. So we feel good about that, and we think that will be better preparing them for their future. Attendance rates haven't changed a lot. Last year was our highest attendance rate ever. I'm not sure how significant it is because attendance rate is such a big thing. It's always running between 94.5, a little above, a little below. And I'll make fun of myself and say this last one was probably because of snow days last year, right? All the excused absences because of the snow, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, we did have a big dip. Last year was our highest. This year, a little bit lower. Last year, a little lower. And moving on to our responsible citizenry, besides attendance and other things, we've been tracking the number of students who have severe problems and get suspended or expelled long term. We have a really nice trend going on in the district of less each year of students having serious problems where they're long-term suspended or expelled. The blue line shows males, and the red line shows females. And if you look at it by gender, you'll see there's always a big difference there in terms of boys and girls and how discipline occurs. These are infractions that result in suspension or expulsion by topic. And as you can see, weapons is our number one. And when we say weapons, it sounds scary to people, but the majority of these, I would say 9 out of 10 of these suspensions or expulsions are for students who brought a pocket knife to school. And we don't allow knives on campus unless you work for maintenance, right? But if you are a student in the building, you know, you're not to have those on you. And so that's the majority of them. Drugs is down. Disorderly conduct is down. And so on the right-hand side is a simple bar graph that just shows you the decrease. So we've had, and also the kids that go to our annex, we call it, when they are suspended and expelled, they don't return there. I think out of the couple of hundred that have been assigned to the annex under suspension expulsions over the last few years, we've had something like less than 15 return. So it's not a punitive environment. They get therapy, they get counseling, they get help, they stay up with their subjects, but they're separated from their friends at the school and they really would like to get back. And most of them don't want to return.